So let's review how to get a web form to go to different destinations depending on the answer that a form filler provides. With this specific video, we will be talking about the payment method. So depending on if the answer is to pay online or to pay by mail, they will be taken to a different destination. So first, I'll show the change needed to be made within the form settings to the redirect location. So under submission settings on form settings, you have the redirection location. Within custom URL, this will be the address to use. This refers to a page within Milo, and it can be a page, an event, whatever specific content type in Milo. Probably for this example, I'd recommend a page. And the second half here is going to represent a value of one of the form components. So submission refers to the answers given on a web form, and this one will specifically be titled node or labeled node. So after you've entered this entire address as you see it here, then we save that configuration. The next step will be over in form components, we want to make that label available for node. So I've added a text field type and just titled it node. That will copy over to the form key as well. Let me show you what other settings I've enabled here. I've skipped on down to make it private. This is so that only those with results access, aka webmasters, are able to see this field. We don't need the users seeing it and much less making any changes to it. So we save the component after we've set that up. So now the form settings and the form component are ready to go. We need to actually have the nodes or the pages existing so that we can create the condition that will refer to each of them. So in another tab, I actually have the pages already created. So I'll pop over to manage content to find those. I have one for the pay online folks and one for the pay by check folks. When it comes to finding the node, there is a new draft button for each, and this is the easiest way, either your new draft or edit draft button, but that is the easiest way to extract the node ID or the number that you will need. So here in my online notepad, this is the node ID I copied for my pay by check page. And so just the number is what we need for this goal. So I'll make my list here, and I'll go over a little bit of the URL that we need. So again, I'm right-clicking on that new draft or edit draft button, and we pull out what it is that we need, just the number. So online will be that number. And so the URL is made up of two parts. The first part, again, being a specific node within Milo, and that just means it is the node is kind of an alias URL. It's a shorter version of the longer URL that we see up here that would include your state, your league's name, and then the page title. When it comes to the node, again, it's kind of a shortened URL, and it remains constant. So even as a page title changes, a node, since it has a specific ID, it will always remain the same. And then this portion here is a token that represents a specific submission value. And again, since we created that form component that's labeled node, then we are, with this token, always going to represent the value that is that node. And so now we are left with needing to provide these values somewhere. So now we come back to our web form. That's where conditionals will come into play. Oh, and I forgot I had them set up. So let's actually delete one so we can go over how to set that up. So I obviously have one set up here for pay online. So we start out with what the question is. If payment method, that question of payment method is, and the answer is pay online, then node, and this is a list of your form components, so we chose node from that list, is set to, and we provide the specific value. So again, this should coincide with the number I have for pay online, and it does. So I'm going to copy the number for check so we can set up the next condition. So just how we have this one set up for pay online, we'll hit that arrow to add a brand new condition. So same thing, if payment method is instead pay online, we're going to do pay by snail mail, then node is set to. So the second half is exactly the same as the top, again, except for that number that you're providing that value. So we save condition. Okay. And if you happen not to get a green success bar, just try rearranging them. It doesn't matter what order you have them in, and just resave those conditions. That'll just ensure that your conditionals are in place. So now that we have them in place, when we go through the form, and I'm filling this out as quick as I can. All right, and I'll switch between each and submit. But even right now, we can see the node changes instantly. Again, the node field here is only visible to webmasters, and I'm still logged in. But once I publish this and I log out, then this node field does not appear anymore, but the action still happens. So let's try first pay online. I submit, and instead of going to the default confirmation page, I go to the pay online. So let's go back and this time swap the answer to pay via postal snail mail. And when we submit, we get taken to that different destination. And so as long as you have all those pieces, the question that you want to hinge this all on, it could be dependent on the donation amount, or what fund it's being donated to, whatever set of options you want to hinge that on. And then you need to have that exact URL in your redirection location. You need to have those new pages that will serve as those separate destinations. And then you need to have the form component of node, and then pull those node numbers just from the new draft buttons of those new destinations.